Hey, what's up? It's Nathan here with thebtccourse.com. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can set up a Bitcoin multi-sig wallet using Casa. Now, Casa makes it easy for you to set up a multi-sig wallet, and also they will hold one of your keys for you, which is nice in case like you lose your keys and you need one. Well, Casa is a responsible party, and they'll keep track of your key, at least one key for you. Also, depending on which plan you choose, you might have premium support and people help walk you through the entire process of getting set up. So it could be a great solution for you if you're kind of nervous of doing your own multi-sig setup and you want like somebody or a company to kind of like hold your hand and walk you through it. So they do have a few different plans here. They have the free one, which is only a single sig wallet. They have gold, which is what we're going to be exploring today. And this is a 3-key vault. So you need 2 keys in order to send Bitcoin out of your wallet. They have a platinum and a diamond here as well. And each one comes with its own pros and cons and stuff like that. So you can read it on the website. And if anybody has questions, you can ask in the comments down below and I'll try and answer anything. So anyway, I'm going to go with the gold and start a 30-day free trial. And I'm going to go ahead and go through the sign up process real quick. And so I've completed the checkout process and it says, welcome home. We've sent an email to your inbox with the next steps. So let me check my email real quick. And so here's the email I received. So I've successfully started my 30-day free trial. Watch our webinar. Here's how to get help. But basically downloaded the Casa app. So we needed to go ahead and get that on iOS or Android and log in with your Casa email and password. And also we're going to need to set up our vault. So you do need a hardware wallet in order to set up your vault, and more than likely you need 2 hardware wallets in order to get the best security. You don't need 2 wallets, but it's better security if you have 2 hardware wallets of your own to get the best security on your multi-sig setup. And then for best performance, we recommend Chromium browser, so Chrome or Brave, and protect your Bitcoin. Okay, so let's go ahead and go into the app. And so here we are inside of the app, and it says that I need to go ahead and connect. So I'm going to go ahead and tap on that. And then I can set up a mobile key, set up a hardware key, set up a recovery key. So we're just going to go through these steps real quick, and I'll explain it along the way. So set up a mobile key first is what I'll tap on. And so basically this is putting a key, like basically, you know, a key similar to a Trezor or a Ledger. It's putting it on my phone, so I could use my phone as a signing device. So this is probably not the most secure thing to do, so we're going to change it later on. But in order to get through these steps, we're going to go ahead and set this up as a key. But we'll talk about it later. And we've successfully connected your mobile key. I'm just going to go ahead and do continue. All right, so set up a hardware key. That's what we want to do now. And so then we can go ahead and select our device. So they have Trezor, Ledger, Coldcard, Keystone, and Passport. Or if you need a hardware wallet, I guess they link over to their store and you could go ahead and buy one there. But I already have both the Trezor and a Ledger handy, and I have video tutorials on Trezor and Ledger, so if you're interested in that, link in the description down below. And I have a Coldcard video coming soon, so that might be out by the time you're watching this video, and if you're interested in Coldcard, watch that video. So anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and start with my Trezor here, so I'll tap on Trezor, and then I'm going to go to continue. Now let's connect your hardware key to your Bitcoin vault. We'll send you an email with details to connect your hardware wallet to Casa. So I will need a computer and your hardware wallet with you. Okay, got that, and I'm on a computer now. So Casa won't have the ability to access your private keys or funds, and you could learn more. How does this work if you want to? I'm going to do continue, and I'm going to go ahead and plug my Trezor into my computer as well, so that way that is done. All right, so this is the email they sent me. You're almost there. Connect your hardware device to your computer, then click the button below. Okay, I just did that. We'll walk you through the setup process. If you need help, don't hesitate to contact us. And so I'm going to go ahead and click on connect your device. It brings me over to a web page. First, make sure you have the Trezor Suite desktop app installed and open. All right. So last time I tried this app, it was very, very slow and lagged my video. So we'll give it a shot though. And I'm going to go ahead and click on Access Suite here. And I need to enter my PIN on my Trezor. And so there we go. Let me come over to the website now. And I'm going to go ahead and click on Continue now. And my computer is lagging, so hopefully this works out. Now let's sync your Trezor to Casa. So ensure your Trezor is plugged in and using Chrome browser before continuing. If you're signing with Trezor Model T, enter the PIN before continuing as well. All right, I'm going to go ahead and continue. And it says read public keys from treasure device. I'm going to allow for this session and export. And we're waiting on treasure now. Great work. You have successfully set up your hardware key. You may disconnect your device and close this window. And so I'm going to do exactly that. Disconnect my treasure from my computer and close this window. Alrighty, so at this point, both my mobile and hardware keys are set up. It's time to set up my recovery key. And so this is the key that Casa will hold for me. So what they want you to do is answer some security questions, and then that way, if you need to have Casa, restore a key or use the key that they have, you'll have to answer these 3 questions before they can unlock that key, basically. So set up security questions. And so we're going to choose 3 security questions. And so this is just like anything else where you're choosing, security questions, and then you answer them, and, that way you can keep your account more secure. So basically go through here and, pick questions that you can answer the same every single time, or at least that you know the answers to. So I'm just going to do, what year did I find cryptocurrency? And I'll just do 2023. And confirm answer. Are you sure? Yes. All right, what was the last name of your 3rd grade teacher? Teacher. Oops, I need to spell it correctly. Teacher. All right, confirm answer. Continue. And what was your childhood friend name? Friend. All right, confirm answer. Continue. All right, so all questions saved. You will need to re-answer these whenever you use the Casa recovery key. All right, so basically if I lose my mobile key and my hardware key and I need the Casa key, I need to know the answers to those 3 questions. So that's something you need to keep track of. All right, so now I have access to my 3-key Bitcoin vault. And what I want to do now, though, is actually get rid of my mobile key and actually use a ledger as a hardware key. So I'd have two hardware keys, and then Casa would be holding my recovery key that we had just set up. And the reason that I want to have 2 hardware wallets instead of my phone is because, my phone is also how I would get the Casa recovery key as well. So basically there'd be 2 keys kind of on this device. Of course, one's over on Casa's servers protected by my 3 questions and answers, and one's my actual device. So it's a little separate, but it's still on the same device, kind of, if that makes sense. You can still access it from the same device, and the point of Multisig is to, geographically disperse your keys so that way, there's no single point of failure. And so that's what I want to go ahead and set up, so that's what we're going to do now. And so I'm actually going to tap on this healthy thing right here, and I'm going to tap on the menu up in the top right-hand corner, and then I'm going to tap on Switch Key Setup. So switch your vault to use 2 hardware keys. Yes. Yes, I want to do that. All right, so let's make sure you have both hardware keys with you. You won't be able to finish setup without having both keys available. This key is used to your current setup. This key must be a hardware wallet. Okay. Continue. I have my 2 keys. So now let's connect your new hardware key. Note Casa won't have ability to access it and all that other stuff. So I'm going to plug my ledger now into my computer, and then I'll get it to send me an email, and I'll confirm my ledger with Casa. So let's do that real quick. So now I'm going to tap on send key, connection email. And so here's the email I received. So connect your device. Pops up a website. And then which device we'll be using. So I'm using a ledger this time. First, plug in your ledger to your computer and lock it with its pin. So I need to go ahead and unlock it real quick. And then I'm going to go ahead and click on continue. So before signing, let's make sure you're using Chrome or Brave browser. So check using Chrome. Ledger Live application is closed. No, it's not, and I'll explain why in just a second. So we've unlocked our ledger via PIN, yes, but you've launched a Bitcoin Legacy app on your ledger. Now the Ledger Bitcoin Legacy app is different than the regular Bitcoin app in Ledger Live. Please click the Get Help below for instructions on how to install the Legacy app. So if you don't have the Bitcoin Legacy app installed, you're not going to be able to proceed with the continue button. So let's go ahead and set this up real quick. So if we click on Bitcoin Legacy app, it gives us some instructions here. So in Ledger Live, go to Settings, Experimental Features, and Developer Mode. Goodness, I can't speak. Okay, so we'll go into Settings, Experimental Features, Developer Mode, turn that on. Toggle on, this has nothing to do. So go to my ledger, search for Bitcoin Legacy. Okay, so my ledger, And we're going to go ahead and search for Bitcoin coin. And we got Bitcoin Legacy down here at the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and install Bitcoin Legacy. And now it's installed. Let me come back here. So you may need to delete other apps, blah, blah, blah. Each time you connect, make sure you open Bitcoin Legacy app on your device. All right, so let's come back over here. And I'm going to go ahead and close Ledger Live now because I installed the Bitcoin Legacy app. So there we go. And so then on my Ledger device, let me load up my camera real quick. So here on my Ledger, there's Bitcoin Legacy and then there's Bitcoin. So I want to make sure that I have my Bitcoin Legacy app open instead before proceeding on. So I'm going to go ahead and open it real quick. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and click on continue here. And it's waiting on my Ledger. And great work, you have successfully set up your safe key. You may now disconnect your device and close this window. All right, so disconnect device and then close the window. And now I have 3 keys verified. My home key, so that's my treasure, my safe key, which is my Ledger, and then my recovery key, which is managed by Casa. So my vault is secure, and now we can go ahead and receive some Bitcoin and send some Bitcoin and see what all that looks like. So let's come back out of here. And so what I want to do is go ahead and tap just on the vault itself. And so here I am. This is where your transactions will live, and we need to go ahead and add some Bitcoin in order to really do much else in here. So let's come on down to deposit funds, and it gives me an address right here. So I could scan the QR code if I have, an exchange on my phone and I wanted to just scan the QR code, or I could go ahead and copy the address right here, which is what I'm going to go ahead and do in this particular case. And then I want to go to the exchange that I have the Bitcoin on so I can send it to my Multisig wallet. So I'm going to load up Coinbase. And I want to go ahead and send and receive. And in this case, I'm sending to my Multisig wallet, so I want send. And I'm just going to go ahead and send $10 in this example. Now, normally I wouldn't send this small of an amount because I'm going to be eaten alive by fees. And it's also going to create new UTXOs. And so then later on, when I want to do on-chain transactions, my fees could be outrageous if I have a bunch of small UTXOs. And I have a video that explains UTXOs and fees. So link in the description down below if you're unfamiliar with what a UTXO or unspent transaction output is. I'm going to leave it at that for this video. But just know, normally I would never send $10 because, fees are going to be outrageous for just sending $10. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and plug in my Casa wallet address. So there we go. I could add a note. I'll click on continue. And then I'm going to go ahead and send now. And then I'm going to go to view transaction. And I'm going to copy my address real quick. And I'm going to go to the mempool. So mempool.space is what I'm going to be using. And I'll plug in my wallet address. And nothing has shown up yet, so I'll give it a couple minutes. Alrighty, so my transaction showed up, so I'm going to click on it. And I can see that I'm hopefully in this first block right here. If not, I should be in the second block. So hopefully I don't have to wait too much longer. Last block was 37 minutes ago, and on average it's every 10 minutes. So hopefully, I'm pretty soon. And if you need help with the mempool, I have a video, link in the description down below, on how the mempool works and how to use this website so you can see how much fees are and all that stuff. So link in the description down below. But basically right now I have to wait for my transaction to confirm, which means cross this dotted line right here and become a purple block. And that means that it has been mined by the Bitcoin miners. And so basically I'll be back once that happens. And actually Casa sees this transaction and it shows it as pending. So it still needs to confirm before I can really do anything. But it's always good to see that the transaction is showing up in your wallet like you think it should. So anyway, I still have to wait for it to confirm. So I'll be right back. Alrighty, so it only took a few minutes, but my transaction has now confirmed. And if I look inside of my Casa app, I can see that I have received my Bitcoin into my app. So let me go ahead and actually just tap on that transaction real quick. And let me make this full screen so we can see when it arrived, the amount, the transaction ID, and we could go ahead and add a memo here. So it's recommended to add memos every time you receive Bitcoin. That way you can keep track of your UTXOs, your unspent transaction outputs. And again, link in the description down below if you need help with UTXOs and what they mean. But it's a good idea to write a memo so that way you know what it was. So for example, from Coinbase, and then usually I'll mark stuff if it's KYC, like know your customer, or if it's non-KYC, so basically private Bitcoin that those chain analysis companies aren't tracking or able to track as easily. Whereas if it came straight from Coinbase, they know that that Bitcoin's my Bitcoin. So I usually separate KYC and non-KYC is kind of how I track it. And then where it came from is also a good thing I found to keep track of. So anyway, so I'll mark it like that, and then I'll come back out of there. So there's my transaction. One other feature or function here is this little plus button. So if we tap on that, you can see that we can create a new 3-key vault sub-account. So organize your 3-key vault addresses and funds with sub-accounts. As a gold member, you have access to up to 1 additional sub-account. So this could be kind of nice. Maybe you have your own, wallet, and you want to track your Bitcoin, and then maybe you have an account with a sibling or your spouse or your parents or something like that, and you're going to manage the keys and everything for them. So you might keep it here, but you set up a special sub account so that way you can keep your Bitcoin separate from somebody else's Bitcoin, or maybe you have a different portfolio. Maybe you have like long-term holdings and short-term holdings, or something like that. So the various reasons why you might create a sub account. So if you want to create one as a gold member, you can make one. So we'll do that real quick because we're gold members and might as well give it a shot. So I'll go ahead and continue. So name our sub account. I'm just going to call it sub, and I want to tap on continue here. So new sub account created. We've emailed you an updated set of sovereign recovery instructions. So view sub accounts. So there we go. Now you can see that I have my primary account and then a sub account. Let me tap into the sub account. And so it's basically the same thing, like I would deposit funds, but this has its own set of addresses to keep it separate from my primary account. So the rest of this should be pretty self-explanatory in maintaining your sub account if you want to set one up. All right, so let's come to our primary account. I'm going to tap into that, and let's talk about sending our Bitcoin out of here, because this is where it's kind of different than doing a normal Bitcoin transaction, because we need to sign it with multiple devices. So let's go ahead and send. At the top here, I could click here and it opens up a menu. So this is where I could go ahead and select which UTXOs that I want to send. And I only have one UTXO, but if I have a bunch of UTXOs, maybe I only want to send like certain ones. Maybe I only want to send my KYC UTXOs or my non-KYC UTXOs or something like that. So I just wanted to point that out, that if you tap into this area, you can select which UTXOs you want to send. Here we could scan the address we want to send to, which we'll do in a second. But before I do that, I want to go ahead and select the amount I want to send. And I'm just going to send the max. So I'm going to send all my Bitcoin. And then I'm going to do choose recipient. And then I could scan a code or enter an address. So I'm actually going to scan the code, but let me load up Coinbase real quick. So I'm going to send it right back to Coinbase, which is kind of counterproductive, but doing it for example purposes. So I want to receive in Coinbase. And so there's my QR code. So let me load up my phone and I'll scan code and boop. All right, so I want to send that much Bitcoin to this address. So transaction speed, let's go ahead and tap into that real quick. All right, so we have a few different options. We have fast, normal, and slow, and then custom. I always do custom, and got it. It's advanced. But if we look at the mempool, we can see what the fees kind of are right now and kind of gauge where our transaction would go based off of the fees that we assign to it. And in my mempool video, I explain this in greater detail. So if you're interested, check out that video. So if I want to be in this second block here, I should probably charge or pay at least 11 sats per VByte. So let's come over here, and I'm just going to set it for 12. That way I might be in the first block, but time will tell. So I got 12 sats per VByte, and we'll go ahead and save. And then I'm going to go ahead and review send. And here I could do an additional memo. So sending to Coinbase to sell. All right, so then I'll do save and then swipe up to confirm. So whoop. So ready to sign, begin signing transaction. So 2 signatures are needed. Let me tap on that. And so I need to go ahead and do tap to add a new signature. So get your hardware device ready. Tap on there. All right, sign this transaction with your hardware device. All right, send email. And while I wait for that email to arrive, I'm going to go ahead and plug in my ledger to my computer, and I'm going to load up the Legacy Bitcoin app. So let's do that real quick. All right, so this is my email here. So to sign this transaction, connect your hardware device to your computer, click the button below. All right, so click in the button below. And I'm using my ledger for this signature, so I'll click on that. Plug in your ledger, unlock it. I've done that. And I've loaded the Bitcoin Legacy app, so I'm just going to hit continue. And it's waiting on ledger. And so on my ledger here, you see it says review output 1, the amount I'm sending, the address I'm sending to, and then I need to accept it. And then it wants me to confirm my transaction. So there are the fees, accept and send. And great work, you have successfully signed the Bitcoin transaction. You may disconnect your device and close this window. Okay, so disconnect, close this window. And now Casa is showing that I've signed with my safe key. Now I need to go ahead and sign with my treasure device. So I'm gonna plug that thing into my computer now. So got it plugged in. And now I need to go ahead and tap to add a new signature. So tap on that and then send another email. So it is kind of painful to do multi-sig transactions like this, but you know, it's secure, more secure and safe than, you know, single sig, and definitely more secure than, you know, just leaving it on your mobile device, or definitely more secure than leaving it on an exchange. So, you know, the lack of convenience is worth the security and peace of mind that it provides. So I got another email over here, and I just clicked on the button, and so it's loading up that website. Now I need to do treasure here. So first make sure I have the treasure suite open and installed and blah, blah, blah. So let me open treasure. And then I need to go ahead and enter my PIN real quick. So let me do that. And so now I'm into my treasure suite. So let's come back to the website and do continue and continue the treasure website and allow once for this session. And then on my treasure, it shows the confirm sending, confirm. And it's signing the transaction now. And there we go. So according to the Casa website now, you successfully signed this Bitcoin transaction. You may disconnect your device and close this window. All right, so disconnect. And now close this window. Now Casa is saying transaction is ready to be completed. So there's a summary right here, my fees and my recipient total and the address I'm sending to and my memo. And I've signed it with my safe key, which is my ledger, and my home key, which is my treasure. And then I'll just tap on complete transaction. And now it's being sent to the mempool. Let me tap on my pending transaction though. And there's my transaction ID. Or I can go ahead and tap on view in Block Explorer. So I'll tap on that. And I loaded the Blockstream Block Explorer. And I'm going to go ahead and tap on this, the copy, my transaction ID. I'm actually going to go to the mempool.space website because I like that one better than any other Block Explorer. And I'll go ahead and paste my transaction in here and search. So there it is. It's in this first block right here. And so I just got to wait for it to cross over this dotted line, and then it'll be in my Coinbase account where I could go ahead and sell my Bitcoin if that's what I wanted to do. And so that's pretty much it for setting up a multi-sig wallet with Casa. And I also showed you how to receive Bitcoin and send the Bitcoin back out of there. So hopefully that was helpful. If you found it helpful, I appreciate any source of likes, comments, subscribes, and or check out the BTCcourse.com. It's a free website with a bunch of Bitcoin related tutorials and information just to help you become a better Bitcoiner. And it's kind of my passion project. So I appreciate you checking it out. And I hope you have a great rest of the day.